here today into the live stream. It's Alex. How you doing?
Hello. Man? How are you?
Good, man. I'm glad that you dropped by. Thanks so much. I know you're going to the movies today.
Yeah, I got tickets to see The Flash matinee. Thank you, Bat Cows, for my free ticket.
Is that where you got it from? Is you got the free pass?
Yeah, I got the free pass. So
nice.
Doing seeing The Flash for matinee, and then I have some dinner with friends later. So I like the theater here. Our local theater has those like reclining seats and everything, so it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, we got those too. Yeah, you can just kind of relax and get your feet up. So when does it start? Like in a couple hours? You're going to like a midday one?
Yeah. It starts at what time does it start? Noon, 12:30 or something like that.
Oh, it's coming up. Yeah. Do you like going to matinees or do you like evening shows? You kind of come out of a matinee and you're kind of like, whoa, right?
Yeah, a little discombobulated. It's like still bright out. I think I guess it depends. It depends what I have going on during the day. So
yeah.
If a nighttime movie is nice, as long I tend to go to bed pretty early because I wake up early.
Yeah.
And so I try not to go too late. But like last night, I was out later than I usually am out on a Friday. Because my cousin's in a band, and he played the Viper Room here on the Sunset Strip, which is very cool, right?
Sure.
Big deal for him.
Yeah.
So my uncle and my other cousins came out and we hung out on the strip for a bit. But so he was in two bands, and apparently, so he has his band, and then he's the backing band for a rap duo with one of the with the guy who plays Argyle from Stranger Things.
Oh, no
way.
The latest
season of Stranger Things, which is hilarious.
He's like Miles Morales rumors too, by the way.
Is he?
I think so, isn't he? Isn't that guy you're talking about the same guy? No.
The pizza guy. His name's Argyle.
The pizza guy. Sorry, that guy. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I got the guy. The guy confused. But still, that's awesome. He's actually there as well. That's cool. The pizza guy is hilarious.
Yeah,
I
was
went
pretty
back
funny.
and watched season 3 or 4 or whatever again. I watched the whole thing with my family. It's a good one. So that's funny. Did you get a chance to meet him?
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. Taller than I expected, but and his hair is really that long, and so
I totally remember him now. Sorry, I thought it was one of the main crew, right? So
no,
he's one of the main crew. Guy. That guy, he's actually linked to Miles Morales.
Oh, okay.
That's potential, maybe of a live action version of him. I don't know. There's rumors around him. One of the main guys, right? I can't remember his name.
Oh, right. What's his name? Dustin? Not Dustin.
No, not Dustin.
No, not Dustin. I forget the character's name.
Yeah, me too. But anyway. Well, that's cool. Hope you have an awesome time. Yeah, I know you don't have a lot of time, so thanks for coming on. I know we have there's stuff that's been happening and stuff,
Yeah.
And if you're cool with just, giving us a bit of an update on a couple things, I know I mentioned a couple things I wanted to ask you about, if that's cool.
Yeah, we can go through some of these. Excuse me.
Yeah, for sure. Like nothing too serious or too quick, but maybe just an update on like what's going on with that, with Wire and the payout, if you don't mind. I know you guys tweeted it out, but like what's happening with that?
Yeah, they just decided to wind down business. Obviously, they've been having some trouble with, with the international payout situation. So we knew from back when they went down kind of the first time, and that we needed to get another provider on board. So that's what we've been working towards, and that's what we're doing currently. So we've identified that partner. We're working towards development in onboarding that platform so that we can bring payout back to the full offering. So all territories, all countries. I think what's interesting, and I think what's maybe gets lost, is the fact that this is a global business, right? So any provider we bring on has to be supported by all territories and countries, or at least most. Obviously Wire didn't support all territories, but it's very important that we continue to have payout as part of the ecosystem. Is not not a choice of ours to shut down international payout. I know this has affected you in particular because you're in Canada.
Us Canadians, we get no love by not you guys, but
no, you're not the only ones. Obviously,
Swoosh won't let us in.
Obviously, you're not the only ones, but I think you'll see more communication about that in the coming weeks, because we're getting close to fully onboarding that partner, and then re-enabling payouts. So just, stick with us. I know it's
Yeah.
frustrating, and it's frustrating for us as well, obviously, because the amount of development that takes to make everything compliant, A, and B, fail safe, because we're talking about people's money, right? So I know we kind of feel like we're saying the same thing over and over, that we reinforcing that we are committed to having payouts. So it was never a choice of ours to not have payout internationally, right? It was always a kind of a function of the vendor. So now that they're winding down business, we're making sure that we have everything in place and ready to go by the time they cease operations.
Yeah, do you happen to know when that's going to be? Is it like mid-July?
Not definitively. I know they kind of mentioned a date in of like when to get its stuff off their platform in that tweet thread, but I need to make sure for us that we're not, whether or not that means that we're committing the same date or whatever the case is. And then that's obviously stuff, not something that I'm working on. That's kind of Mitch's team and legal,
of course,
etc. But I know, I know it's kind of like higher around here just to make sure it gets done.
For sure. 100%. Yeah, for sure. And in Smarty Pants, one of the big whales, he's just a massive whale and a great guy in Veve, right? He just asked, will the new provider support crypto pay-in and payout at the get-go? But I mean, I think that's kind of what a lot of people are talking about, is maybe the alternative at one point is the crypto pay, like the OMI, feature of that, like being able to sell. And that would, a lot of people have, I've noticed, tweeted that would eliminate even being able to having to do payout. But those are obviously stuff you guys are working on, I'm sure, right? At some point.
I would imagine. Again, I know there's a lot of regulatory concern on that front, especially nowadays with kind of, especially what's happening in the U.S. with the SEC kind of essentially waging war on crypto. So I think we just have to be careful. So and obviously we have the licensors are very interested in how this is all going to shake out as well. So I think we'll work towards whatever the best solution is from as soon as possible to get fiat payout working, and then we'll work on the rest.
Yeah, that's the number one to get back for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I appreciate the update, and we'll just wait and see what happens with that. I've already had not cash out for a few months because of Wire, and I'm not upset or anything like that. But yeah, I mean,
no, but it's frustrating.
For other people, it's for other people, obviously now in the States. But we lost it for a little bit before, and then it came back, and I'll be talking lots on this channel about what happens in the market when we don't have payout. There's all sorts of interesting stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So
yeah. And like, don't get me wrong. It wasn't a matter of, I've obviously see the chatter on Twitter and Discords and things like that. People frustrated. Look, we get it. We totally get it. And it's not a matter of like, like this came back to bite us and we were unprepared. Like, we've been working towards this solution for a couple months, and that's just how kind of long it takes. Like other partners who may have kind of lit something up pretty quickly when their payout provider went down, like really only were focusing on a small handful of territories, like whether that's just US or whatever the case is. All right, we're trying to work towards a global business or global support rather.
Well, that would be another thing too, because I mentioned Nike.swoosh, right? And it's only available in like the United States and maybe one or two other regions. And I would suspect that a lot of these companies, like even HRO, didn't allow Canada in at first, and we still can't get the cards up here. But so
you still can't get the cards up there?
Well, at retail, like if I go into Walmart, like I can't find them yet. There are other like online stuff you can do to maybe ship, but no, I haven't been able to get any HRO. But I think the regional thing, like the United States, seems to be kind of like. But yeah, no. So I totally understand that, So yeah, that's good. We'll just keep our eyes open for that, and I appreciate the update. Can you talk about the blockchain team, because I really want T-shirts for that.
You want a T-shirt that says blockchain team?
Yeah, like I'm a team. I support my teams, right? And maybe the blockchain team, this new team of people that you guys tweeted out that are working on, like obviously the OMI side of things, and obviously that's really cool. I actually really I think a lot of people the initial some of the tweets came out were kind of like a little bit cynical, like, oh, we should have had this 3 years ago or whatever. I mean, but the fact that you guys have a dedicated team working on that area specifically. Because you've always mentioned how your team has been really working hard. You guys have been building it over the last 6 months. And if you have a team that doesn't get pulled away and to have to do other tasks because of licensors, I mean, I'm just, Well, what are
Yeah,
your
no, look,
yeah, is
I
that
mean,
sort of, that's sort of the idea, right?
yeah, I mean, I know how it
Yeah.
sounds like we have a blockchain team and it's maybe like the first time we've ever had a block. That's not the case. It's just a
Yeah.
dedicated team now focusing on all things blockchain. It's not like we
Yeah.
haven't had anybody that knew anything about blockchain before that. It's just, as we've talked about the last several months when Mitch is scaling out the team and Mitch and Nestor have been scaling out the teams and talking about having these dedicated teams towards specific areas of the business, right? And that's whether
Yeah.
that's, OMI interoperability for the blockchain team, or onboarding engagement, the data team, like those are all like kind of cohorts within the larger kind of product development team, and blockchain team just kind of how how it was written that makes it kind of sound funny. But yeah, it's now a dedicated team
Yeah.
working on those things that we've been obviously trying to get done for a long time.
Yeah, and those run in parallel with the other stuff you're doing,
Yes.
obviously, in the
Yeah.
app. So that's what I was talking about it being like, I put out a video. I mean, it might be closer than we think because we always think there's stuff in order, and there is. You guys have always prioritized stuff, but when stuff starts to run parallel,
I mean,
then
it's
who knows,
been running
right?
parallel. I think you've kind of noticed as of late
Yeah,
when we're seeing things kind of getting released in a quicker clip. Um, yeah, that's all because of teams are running parallel. So like waitlist was different than the crafting, then that was
yeah,
different from in search. Those are all kind of dedicated teams that are working on those functions. That's why they're all kind of coming out, very
nice.
fairly close together or
Yeah,
being
for
improved
sure.
upon. Yeah. And so there's like, with waitlist, obviously that was like we had the test with the logos, and then we've kind of been running on with collectibles and blind box, etc. For that. There'll be like waitlist V2, which will be further improvements, and then with comics, and kind of moving towards support on all of that, and better enhancements, better kind of just general user experience. Because right now, I think it works really well. It's just maybe not as clear as like when you don't get it, as opposed to when you do get it, and then you have to wait the 15 minutes for things to go back to the store, and that'll just kind of just clearing things up a little bit, just watching the
Yeah,
user behaviors and the data come back and seeing how people are where they're sitting as waiting for the like rebound, I guess we're calling it,
sure.
or whatever the case is. But yeah, constant improvement, obviously, just with those dedicated teams on those specific projects.
Yeah, for sure. It seems to be working well. I mean, the first one just went through like no problem at all. It looked like, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's great. I
I'm pretty
mean,
pleased with it.
obviously,
Yeah.
yeah. And then so it looks like, yeah. Well, I guess you guys will keep developing it, and obviously you're watching how these last ones went, what people's feedback is on it, slight adjustments or not.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
good. Yeah, for
Exactly.
sure.
Yeah.
I like it actually. Have you found that people have been pretty positive about it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's something that, obviously feels a little more inclusive, right? And so, whereas I think generally the narrative around not getting a drop, if you're in some other country of the world that maybe that doesn't have the best internet or whatever the case is, that you were always you were always going to play second fiddle. To somebody who has like blazing fast internet or was closer to the server, whatever the case is. And whether or not that's actually true is another thing entirely. But
Yeah.
it just feels like now everybody has like equal playing, equal footing, and it kind of gets in and you get it or you don't, and then you move on. But I think, yeah, there's some obviously room for improvement, but I think I've seen feedback been overall very positive on it. So I think a lot of people have been waiting for it. And now it's here, and we can, we haven't really tested it on like one of the, like a Grail yet, but we'll see.
Oh, I haven't gotten. I've only gotten one secret rare comic ever on the drop in this app, so I'm hoping this waitlist thing helps me out.
Wait, you've only got one? I thought you hadn't got any. Did you finally get one?
Yeah, well, I got one in the fall. I got it on that Shiri comic.
Oh, right. That's
Yeah,
okay.
I actually landed the secret rare comics. So yeah, I'm not. I'm like kind of like the Denver Nuggets. I got one. So
I
that might be it though.
I
That
don't hit
might be it
secret
for
rares.
them, but not for me.
Yeah, I have hit secret rares, but it's always like on the comics that like kind of that don't sell out.
Yeah, right.
So,
I know. Well, hey, I'll take it. I'm
yeah.
saying it's tough if you don't land some of that stuff, even if it's hard to build some liquidity without dropping actual real money in, which I don't mind doing for big stuff. But sometimes you got to hit some of those to help you go after the stuff you really want, right? It's all part of the game. But But I like the system. It worked well. It's easier. I was worried a little bit, like a lot of people were, just about other platforms and how long it takes, but it's really smooth. So I think it's really cool you guys did that. You kept it tight.
Yeah, and I think there's also in that it's a wait list and not a queue is a little more easier. It's a little easier to swallow, right? I mean, it's a little kind of wrap your head around it, because the queue thing, although I suppose efficient, I feel like that's more appropriate for like ticketing, like like buying concert tickets or whatever the case is.
Get in line, and
once
you get there, you get a chance to go. This one's like this. Just to clarify, so is it just randomized? So like so we all join at any particular time before the deadline, and then like, so I'm up here in Canada, right? So it's just randomly assigned, bling, like just like that. And
with prioritization to KYC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Right. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah. I was going to ask this question. Smarty Pants asked it again. I already was going to ask you this one, just about the poster. Just the update on that one. I know I saw you tweeted out that you're working on it. You guys are like,
it's a weird thing. So
thanks, Smarty Pants, for the super chat.
I've been asking about it as well, because obviously it was supposed to be out, and it showed up in the store and everything online. We just haven't seen any redemptions, and I'm like, well, I'm trying to get in touch with Marvel's asking Fandango, and kind of chasing it down for us, but it just seems a little odd, but we'll figure it out, and we'll see what happens. Like either they haven't sent the codes out yet, or maybe nobody, or maybe nobody won. I don't know. That seems weird, but
that's interesting. Yeah.
I think we just need to get to the bottom of it. So we have asked. Marvel's aware. They just got to chase it down with Fandango.
Well, how is the process supposed to work? Because that's one thing I can't do. I'm in Canada. I can't get down there and do those.
Oh, right. Yeah. So the process is, we provide promo codes for redemption of a collectible, in this case, a Guardians of the Galaxy poster.
Yeah.
We provide those codes to Fandango, or via Marvel, and Fandango distributes those codes to whoever they pull as winners. And then those people, when notified that they win, get the promo code, and then they come to Veve to redeem. So that's how it's supposed to work. But I haven't seen anybody. Well, obviously there's none that have been redeemed. So either the codes didn't go out, or I don't know. Like, as I use Fandango here in the States. Like, I use it to buy my movie tickets, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And I didn't receive any. I can't really enter the contest anyway because I'm unemployed, but I haven't seen anybody who said they even got a notification that they had entered, or like the contest was over, or sorry you didn't win this time, or whatever the case is. So just kind of chasing that down.
Okay. Well, hang tight, people, on that one. And how about the Decon logos? Those are just other little ones people been asking and tweeting.
Oh, the Decon, it's in process. So we had, because obviously it's been so long.
A year. I wish I went to that event. I saw
it was a lot of
there.
fun. I wish we could have done something similar again this year. But the kind of the year-long lead up to Decon wasn't as significant this year, just because we had those like Decon drops every month and whatever the case was. So we're doing things a little different this year, but I do want to have some kind of event. Also, 3D Retro packed up and moved. They are moving to Vegas. So that store that we, the space that we had it at is relocating. So that wouldn't have been an option for us.
In Vegas, it's an option, though.
In Vegas, I wish. Yeah. I mean, I know David and Dan are in Vegas currently, for the licensing expo.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I don't know if I should ask a question about that, because one of the fine ladies from company that they're at, the photo that went around deleted her tweet. So I don't know if that's something that needs to
deleted her tweet. Where
the picture of them in front of the Ubisoft booth.
Oh.
Yeah, which is
but they're a part. We work with them, right? We had.
I know. She tweeted this out, and then we're all like, "Whoa, this is amazing!" And then the tweet got deleted. So hopefully, it's nothing like she didn't say anything about a drop coming up, like a specific item.
I'm sure you'll probably see that photo again. I think maybe she thought she was going to hold it until
Yeah, this photo.
Oh yeah, you'll see that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's
we're
fine.
all excited. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, Ubisoft just came out with the Star Wars game, the new one,
Oh right.
right? The big trailer. And so for me, obviously, I'm like, I mean, I'm not saying you guys are going to drop that because it's coming. That's 2024, but
Yeah.
everyone's super stoked about this photo.
Is that the open world game?
Yeah, that's the open world game. It's called Star Wars Outlaws.
Outlaws.
And you can
Okay.
see it down in the bottom corner there. It's like just the
Very
trailers just came out. Then there's the Division and all the other amazing stuff, and Avatar, and of course, the little rabbits we have, right? So
Right.
everyone's kind of having a good time with this one on Twitter. I was like, good to ask you, but that's why I brought it up.
No, I think
my question was, why aren't you there partying it up? Let's go.
Oh, I have to hold down the fort here, man. I got a lot of other things I'm working on.
Yeah,
but the licensing expo is where Dan and David do a lot of good work in either bolstering kind of current relationships like Ubisoft, as you see here, or bringing on new IP, right? And so a lot of that work is done during this conference because all of the major licensors are there. So even like Disney's there, Marvel's there. Ubisoft is there, obviously. A lot of the other big players as well. So hopefully, we get some cool new announcements coming for this year as a result. We'll see.
Well, I think and that's got to be a guarantee because the girl was like exciting things ahead. That was a tweet that we were all in. Foster jumped on it, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is a great thing to wake up to. Is Thanos in my inbox? And Ubisoft, David and Dan standing at the Ubisoft booth with a Star Wars announcement. Like on their from their game. I mean, it's super exciting, and that actually was going to be one of my other questions to you was just because of the Apple.
The Vision Pro.
Yeah, because I haven't had a chance to ask you about that, Alex, because I mean, I was just losing my mind. And I know Cole right here. Thanks, Cole, for the super chat. There's a lot of questions about the logos and utility, the ones we just got. I know you probably can't say anything about that, but
I just don't know.
You just don't know. Yeah, thanks for the super chat, Cole. I'll ask for him, but
it's entirely up to Mr. U, right? Because it's VVIP, right? So we don't have any actual licensors to consult with on utility where we usually do, right? So I don't know.
Utility on the logos right here by Sky. Everyone wants the utility on those logos. Yes.
I don't know.
Drop some alpha. No, I'm just kidding, Alex.
But just to kind of circle back to the decon, that's still in progress because it was so long ago. Some of the email addresses that we had to deliver them were like no longer valid and didn't match a username in the system. So we just kind of had to reach out to a small subset of those people just to make sure everybody had it. We're holding to deliver all of them at once so that some people don't get it before others, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, they're already out there, so I'm not sure it matters entirely, but we just want to make sure everything, all the people who had attended and scanned in for that event do get their logos.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome for sure. Yeah, so like just quickly on the what do you think about those Apple? I mean, you guys are right there with Disney's putting this AR stuff through the app, Marvel, everything, and then they're up there on stage. I mean, did you know they were going to be up there on stage? I mean, I like that never happens with Apple. They don't usually have
Disney.
Yeah, remember in the presentation. I mean, that doesn't happen very often when a company gets up there like that. It makes us all feel about the in general, right?
Well, I think you got to consider that Disney and Apple have a close working relationship, and B, Bob Iger's back in the fold now and is very bullish on AR, VR, metaverse, etc. In fact, that's what he was kind of putting his time and effort into when he left Disney for a while and then he came back. And so although they did there was a lot of press saying that they removed their metaverse division, it doesn't mean they're not going to focus on those types of things. I think metaverse is maybe a loaded term. I think there's a lot more that can be done in terms of digital storytelling that Disney is very bullish on. So those are some of the things that we are excited to continue to work with them on as it relates to all the IP that they have under that umbrella, be it Star Wars, Pixar, etc. But just to see that them on stage and talking about digital storytelling, AR, VR in that context was awesome. Just because it kind of says, it's a signal as to where we're all going, right? And
Yeah.
we have biggest players in the world, i.e. Disney and Apple, behind this thing. I think Meta maybe started a little early and kind of put a lot of eggs in that basket early, which was great. But I think now you're starting to see some more possibility as to what the potential of the layering of mixed reality is, as opposed to fully immersing yourself in an environment, right?
Yeah.
So and that's always been something that we've been passionate about, in addition to AR functionality in the app.
Sure.
And working on the Viviverse, which is a little more of an immersive experience. Ultimately what we want to do is see the technology continue to progress so that we can figure out how to best make use of those for our collectibles, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm really hopeful for the future that what this means in terms of digital collecting for the space as a whole, not just us, but like everybody continue to push the envelope on that. And you will see over time, obviously those devices will be a little less cumbersome. I think, first out of the gate, there's still a lot of computing power to put on somebody's face, right? And there's, and as cool as they looked, you can kind of have that weird, the eye, you can see through to the eyes, or it's kind of, it's a little
screen, right? It's that screen on the outside
that
projects
screen,
those fake eyes.
Yes, exactly.
I thought it was like you could see through it.
I thought so at first too.
It was a screen, and they're fake eyes that they scan, and it's kind of weird, but it's just
a little odd.
But
I think but over time we're going to see those devices get smaller and smaller. Will fit into actual normal glasses and things like that. And it's just exciting. I mean, like, if anybody, plus Apple has like a level of sexiness to it in their design. Just how they develop products. They're always iterating. So I can't imagine that you would see anything less than a really cool functioning product from the get that continues to improve over time.
For sure. Is Veve, like, are you guys, they gave 6 months almost, like, for developers to kind of like build out apps and stuff like that for use on it, and those kind of things, right? I don't know if you could even answer this now, but are you guys, like, is the Veve app, I would assume you'd be able to just bring it up because it's an Apple app, and then you'd be able to look at it with the goggles. And then,
in theory, I think that's more of a question for Mitch. But I would hope
how it interacts, with how the Veve AR interacts. Because I would assume with the camera on your phone, it's the same sort of kind of device camera. You could look at your living room, and maybe if you have the app open, that would be that would be the dream, right? I would assume it's all Apple. So you can do it with your phone, so it's the same sort of idea.
Yeah, I would hope so. For sure. But I'm like, look, excited. It's exciting times nonetheless, right? So we'll continue to see people pushing the envelope on that front.
Well, before you go with Alex, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a bit since we chatted, and I know there's lots of stuff come up, and I've just been following you on Twitter and stuff and seeing your responses and things like that. We're missing the Friday nights.
I know. What's funny? I'm missing them too, and it's just for one reason or another. Like the last couple months, I've been just busy. I'm like, last night I had my cousin's band to go see, and then before that I had family in town, and then traveling or whatever the case is to different events with whatever the case is. Like, it has not worked out that I've been able to sit down on a Friday night and do the show. But I look forward to getting back to it, because I like hanging out with the community and chatting with everybody and playing some music.
It's
and also on a more kind of like health focused level, I need to get out of this chair. I work so much that I'm here from usually 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in this chair, and last thing I want to do is sit for another 3 hours and and do a Twitter space. So sometimes I think I'm just gonna have to work on a better solution of build a standing desk or something, because
those Apple glasses could change a lot of things for work.
It could, yeah. I don't know if I have that kind of money to put down on a Vision Pro for right out the gate, but maybe we'll get some test devices. I don't know. Hopefully, probably not. But
you guys, you guys should. You guys should.
we
Obviously,
should.
something to be sent to you guys for sure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I
Test it
wish.
because we'll bring you up one day.
If we do get them, I can tell you they won't be coming to me. David
Yeah.
and Dan.
David will be like, "I got
Yeah.
this."
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I tweeted out, asking about comic book sets. I know you can't answer that, but a lot of people want them, and I think that would be cool one day. So, just in case you didn't see that tweet,
Yeah,
I asked people to hit
I
like on
assume
it.
you
Not that you
mean
have to,
collecting all 5 rarities and completing a set.
Seems like
There
a
was
set, doesn't it?
I mean, it does, but I think there was a reason why Dan and David, reason escapes me at this point, but I think it was a matter of, having they would be expensive sets to complete, and we didn't want to. I think it was more of a weighting issue in terms of MCP than anything, right? But I do agree, like, there's some things that like I just liked all covers for, so I bought all 5 rarities, like Ultimate Fallout, like I guess even some of the like the Disney comics, I liked all those. They're very interesting, different covers, and then but yeah, I think that we'll probably have to revisit. I think in general, MCP and the weighting of how sets are calculated or considered and things like that will change over time. So I'm not saying it's off the table, but I don't think that's ever been a consideration from when we first launched them. We considered it a different product, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's kind of like just a pipe dream, and maybe
one
day.
I assume it's just because you just
do
want
something with them,
Yeah.
Other than, I mean, they're great to have and collect on their own. They just seem to be like, each one is a group, and it's kind of cool to have them all. And people might want to go and it's rare than if they don't own it, and they just complete that series, right? It's pretty neat.
Yeah. And I think David had said at some point that he was more interested in completing like story arcs than covers.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that would work either, because that means we would have to really focus on story arcs.
Yeah.
We have done a few of them, obviously, like 5-parters, 5-part events like the Fallen Sun and things like that.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
And then I just wanted to congratulate you guys on the collector spotlight. Especially, I started off the live stream today with K Collects. That's really cool. You picked her. She's awesome. And I know, of course, Silicon Secure. I mean, we'll see who's next.
Legend. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, look, there's obviously a lot of folks to choose from. We have a lot of cool folks in this community, a lot of big collectors. So, it's just a little way to kind of spotlight these folks and just to see how different people operate and what they're excited to share. In terms of these questions, we'll continue to evolve it over time. But I think right now it's just a fun thing that we're doing on a Friday. Just continuing to kind of build out the social content. Yeah.
Well, you see other platforms doing stuff like I know you guys started off with this you guys have done a lot. I mean, on the Discord for sure with members and stuff.
Yeah.
We see ambassador programs. We see on X making it literally incentivized to retweets, so you can maybe get on a whitelist. There's all sorts of interesting ideas. I think this is really cool what you guys are doing with the collector spotlight. I'm sure there's more to come, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's a few things that we have to kind of operate different on in terms of incentives and we don't have whitelists, we don't have things like that, so we have to kind of figure out the best approach and a way to kind of incentivize and reward folks that are consistently involved and active in the community. So obviously MCP is part of that, right?
Yeah, that's
kind
a big
generally one. That's what it is. It's a loyalty retention program at the end of the day. But also starting to onboard and figure out how to best do ambassadors, right? Like quote unquote ambassadors or influencers. Those are things that we've kind of held off on to date because we're waiting to get some of the more key infrastructure shipped in the app. So moving KYC further down the user journey so that it's easier to onboard people, because that was kind of a big barrier to entry. I think we've said a few times that when you join the app, it is you would have to show your passport, do KYC to even buy anything. Now we
Yeah.
can get people into the ecosystems, get them excited about getting their first few collectibles. And then if they want to sell stuff, they will have to KYC. So that's going to be a lot easier for us to operate in onboarding new folks, and then a lot easier for us to do ambassador type programs as well.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, no, I'm excited about what's coming. Did you get Thanos today?
I did. Yeah, I got both.
Nice. You get the secret rare, or did you get the philosopher?
I got both. Yeah, I did. I crafted. I crafted with the secret. Sorry, the secret II. Yes, Eye of Agamotto. So I got both. My mid numbers aren't great, but yeah.
Look at the secret rare Thanos just before you go. Look at him.
I haven't looked in the secondary. What is it?
$700.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
It's day one. Too.
Even if I could sell, I probably I wouldn't. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, that's
amazing, and then obviously the remaining editions are going to be burned. So there's not as many as it says in the details, right?
Only as
but that was outlined from everybody kind of knew that was coming because that was outlined in the article, they like max editions, and then obviously there was less of Warrior Thanos or less eyes minted, I think, or I'm sorry, burned. How many ended up being? I think just over 1,000, right?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but I think that's I think that's what everyone's saying.
Yeah,
right?
So Thanos Warrior, I think at this point has 2110 total editions, and that'll be just around 1,000. So it'll be in half. It'll be halved.
Be half of that. Yeah, it's incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
And you tweeted out. I'm gonna hit you up on this because you retweeted the Disney Plus Hulk.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought that was really interesting because that is
like the Hulk show, the Hulk movie with Edward Norton. Guys, is coming.
I believe that's a Universal movie, right?
Well, the rights have now gone back to Disney.
Back to Disney, right?
We're
back to Marvel. So
now,
it's interesting to see kind of finally get they're moving in all the pieces back from Sony, Universal, etc. into that one service, and I think it's going to be really cool because I think a lot of people sleep on those Hulk movies because they didn't feel like part of the
that one's in the universe because the Abomination's in there, and
right.
Harrison Ford's now playing Ross,
Thunderbolt Ross, right? Yeah,
which turns into the Red Hulk, which I know we're gonna get on Veve any minute now.
Are we? You know more than me, apparently.
I'm just kidding. Okay, Alex, I'll let you go. I know you got to go to the movies. Have an awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check this Flash movie out. I think I'm excited for it. I think most of my excitement, because I'm interested in the kind of the reset of the DCU, and then Michael Keaton Batman. Come on, the best Batman. Let's go.
I know he's awesome, and we'll see you at San Diego Comic-Con, right? TK.
Perhaps. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Yeah. Okay, right. I'm sorry to hit you on
MC. Thank you for having me. Oh, and by the way, nice new logo too.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was working on that for a while. Just
Hey, you muted yourself.
This for my my store and a different business.
Cool.
Previously in years, so this one's more towards what I'm doing now. But yeah, and you guys too. Nice logo too, by the way.
Yeah, I think people are used to it by now, right? There was
I like
a dating app. It's a heart. You're like, collectors at heart, bro.
Yeah, I know. I think it's really doing well. I mean, and those ones you guys dropped are nice as well. So. But thanks, Alex. Have fun at the movie, and we'll just keep looking for updates, and thanks for all the hard work you do, man. I mean, I know we haven't
literally my job
in a bit. We haven't. I know you're behind the scenes working hard because, sometimes when you guys are quiet or you guys are pounding it. So I can just tell talking to you too. You have a fun weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
You might have been out a bit late last night.
yeah. It was a lot of fun though. It was the band's actually really good. Sometimes when you go see like a family member's band or like a friend's band, like, oh, come see my band, or like it's usually, oh yeah, it was pretty good, man, good show. But like these guys are actually really good. I'm excited. And then they came on and they stayed on stage and did the whole thing with Argyle, and I was like, this is actually really fun too. And they have like a small little fan base, and everybody was screaming, and a bunch of girls screaming, and I'm like, oh, okay. So my voice, and I was trying to scream over the girls.
You
so
can't.
like my voice is a little hoarse.
You can't do that.
Nah.
It never works. That's awesome though. One of my good friends is he had a band for a long time, and they in Vancouver, and they were a really great local band. I was always shocked at how awesome they were. I wasn't shocked, but it's really cool when you see people up there, and tons of fun. So maybe we'll see you up there one day. Just little.
Oh man, I miss playing bass. I used to play in a band, a couple.
Yeah, that's why I remember you saying that. So
yeah,
Veve band. There's a Veve basketball team apparently. So
there is.
Well, like, apparently, like there's a decon. People got together.
Oh yeah, like Prop and Max and a few others. Yeah, Veve band would be fun. I think we should do. I think at some event, if we do another event, like a decon after party or something, I think it'd be really fun to have like live band karaoke.
Oh,
that would be awesome, right? I always appreciate.
Yeah, turn the guitar up really loud to cover my voice. That would be. That's the plan there.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, MC. Have a good stream. Appreciate you having me on, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right. Cheers, Alex. Thanks again.
See you, everybody. Thank you. Take care.